Welcome back as we unravel the secrets behind the world's most mysterious UFO encounters, and none more perplexing than one that happened in Melbourne in front of hundreds of school children. For 55 years, Tanya Vassie, who was 12 at the time, has been afraid to speak publicly about what she saw that day. Afraid because she was warned off. Soon you'll hear from her, but first, let's look at the extreme steps taken by sinister figures to shut the news down and shut eyewitnesses up.
What do you say to the fact that officially there is no government report into this matter?
Well, because they buried it, they hid it.
2 weeks later, knock on the door.
It was a cover-up of sorts. I'd love to know why there was such pressure applied to some of the witnesses to keep the story under wraps. But for someone at some level in government, they didn't want this story to get out.
This is the largest group sighting of a UFO, the largest one in the Southern Hemisphere, and it's got to hold credibility because it's not as if just one person saw it. There were over 200 people saw it.
What official explanation, if any, has ever been given by the government or any agency to explain what happened at Westall?
There's never been any.
I mean, the silence is deafening, isn't it?
It's deafening and it's perplexing and very, very frustrating. It was something incredibly unusual, unexpected, that came from somewhere else. And I don't know where that somewhere else is.
And it happened here in Australia.
In Australia's second largest city, in the suburban outskirts of that city.
In broad daylight.
Daylight in front of hundreds.
Joining Ross and I now is former Westall student Tanya Vassie. You've never spoken before about this. This is the first time. You were one of the first to see that UFO hovering that day. What did you see?
I saw a shiny two-story disc. It certainly wasn't anything that we'd ever seen.
So you had an incident that took place 2 days later where the headmaster came into the classroom and took you away. What happened?
Well, he took me to a room which I presume was a parent-teacher interview little office, and there were two gentlemen waiting there, and I was with them probably for about 15 minutes, being questioned.
Did they say who they were?
No.
What
No,
nationality was it?
definitely American.
Americans?
Yeah. They didn't want me to speak of the incident to absolutely anybody, and because it was in the interest of national security, so we want you to keep this under your belt and not discuss it with anybody.
Did they try and explain to you what it was?
Yes, they did. One of them actually told me that it was a very special weather balloon.
Did you believe it?
No, not at the age of 12. I knew better. I know what I saw, and it was definitely not a balloon.
Do you think it was something not of this world?
As an adult now, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Definitely. I no longer care what people think. I saw what I saw. I know what I saw. I was not the only one.
Yeah. Ross, how significant is it that Tanya was coming forward with
It's
her story?
significant. The thing that really comes home to me, Tanya, is the fact that you corroborate that American officials were there trying to shut this story down.
Absolutely.
And it suggests there really was a cover-up, and it was international. What is it that the Australian and American government had to hide in 1966 that 55 years later we still don't know what it was?
It's fascinating. Well, Tanya, thank you so much for sharing your story with us as well. Right, well, next we hear from the Australian Senator demanding that the Australian government reveal everything they know and to protect our skies. Is this the greatest national security challenge we face?